Well, hello. Welcome to another unit. This is going to be all about Noah's Ark. It's a terrible, interesting, exciting, epic story. So we should get a lot of new words out of this story. So let's see what we can learn. So Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of man's heart was continually only evil. So we have this word wickedness, 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 wickedness. This is the idea of being morally wrong. You know what is wrong, but yet you do it anyway. So the idea of wickedness, knowing it's wrong, still doing it. Then we have this word imagination, imagination, imagination. This is coming up with new ideas. And imagination can be great. You can write a story, write a song, invent something, right? Or just, get out of your normal life. It can be great. But in this context, imagination, the thoughts of man's heart was only evil. So all of his new ideas was how to be more evil. Imagination. So now this can be changed to, Yahweh saw that the moral wrongness of man was great in the earth, and that every new idea of the thoughts of man's heart was continually only evil. So we have imagination and wickedness. Yahweh was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. So now we have this word grieved, 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 grieved. Deep sadness and sorrow. It's like if someone you really love dies, you feel that sorrow, sadness, you want to cry. So grieved. So now we can word it, Yahweh was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and it caused deep sadness in his heart. So using this word, grieved. Yahweh said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the surface of the ground. Man, along with animals, creeping things, and birds of the sky, for I am sorry that I have made them. Destroy, destroy, destroy. You put an end to something by attacking or damaging it, breaking it. Destroy. So now we have Yahweh said, I will put an end to man, whom I have created from the surface of the ground, using the word destroy. But Noah found favor in Yahweh's eyes. So found favor, found favor, found favor. So if you remember from the book of Ruth, right? Remember she went to glean in the fields and to look for somebody who found favor, who in their eyes she found favor. So this is a person who looks at you in a positive way and usually helps you. So Boaz helped Ruth. Now Noah is finding favor in Yahweh's eyes. Find favor. But Noah was looked at positively in Yahweh's eyes. Found favor. The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. First of all, we have this word corrupt, 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 corrupt. This means doing illegal or dishonest things. Like you hear sometimes of a corrupt politician, right? Doing something that a politician shouldn't do, lying, stealing, something like that. So the earth was corrupt. And then we have this word violence. Violence means physically hurting people. So if you're violent, physically hurting people, corrupt and violence. Violence, violence, violence. So the earth was doing illegal or dishonest things before God, and the earth was filled with people physically hurting other people. Corrupt and violence. Now it says, make a ship of gopher wood. You shall make rooms in the ship and shall seal it inside and outside with pitch. So pitch. So this is also called asphalt, bitumen, or tar. And from plants, it's also known as resin. Again, I don't know exactly what it means here. The point of these lessons is to learn English, not, doctrine or the Bible or something. So all we do is stick to the English. So all we know is what it says. It was pitch. So make a ship of gopher wood. All right, make it with pitch. So you could change this to, and shall seal it inside and outside with tar, or maybe some sort of resin, all coming from the word pitch. This is how you shall make it. The length of the ship shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. So cubit, what's a cubit? So remember from the unit on jealousy, unit 1, we learned that a cubit was the length of your forearm, from here all the way up to here, right? The length of a forearm, or about 44 centimeters, or 18 inches. So now we can calculate. So the length of the ship shall be 13,200 centimeters. Its width, 2,200 centimeters. And its height, 1,320 centimeters. Or the length of the ship shall be 5,400 inches, its width 900 inches, and its height 540 inches. So what's a cubit? Now you know again. All right. So now we have verse 19. Of every living thing of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ship, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Now we have this word sort, 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 sort. Just means to arrange in categories. Some of the other versions of the Bible call it a kind. Here, for some reason, it's called a sort. It just means to arrange in categories. So, of every living thing of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of every category into the ship. Sort. Verse 20 says this, of the birds after their kind, of the livestock after their kind, of every creeping thing of the ground after its kind, 2 of every sort will come to you to keep them alive. So now this uses both these words, the idea of kind, kind, kind. And again, kind is just arranging in categories. So from a purely English standpoint, kind and sort seem to mean the same thing, just to arrange in categories. Of the birds, after their categories. Of the livestock, after their categories. Of every creeping thing of the ground, after its categories. 2 of every categories will come to you to keep them alive. Now, Genesis chapter 7, verse 18 says this. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ship floated on the surface of the waters. So we have the simple word floated, 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 floated. This just means to rest on the top of the water without sinking. Rest on the top without sinking. Floated. So we have the waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ship rested without sinking on the surface of the waters. Kind of like this picture. The floor seems to float, right? Seems to be resting on nothing. I remember this coffee shop. That floor was kind of scary because it's a normal place to get coffee, but you can see right to the floor, way down to the ground. A little bit uneasy. So really had the feeling of floating. So now Genesis chapter 8, verse 1. God remembered Noah, all the animals, and all the livestock that were with him in the ship. And God made a wind to pass over the earth. The waters subsided. So subsided, we have this. Subsided, subsided, subsided. That means back to their normal level. Subsided. So simply, the waters went back to their normal level. Subsided. Verse 2 said this, the deep's fountains and the sky's windows were also stopped, and the rain from the sky was restrained. So restrained, 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 restrained. That's keeping from continuing, right? Stopping it. Restrained. The deep's fountains and the sky's windows were also stopped, and the rain from the sky was kept from continuing. Restrained. Sometimes we'll also use this word restrained if you have to restrain like an animal, or sometimes even a person, right? The animal's going to run away, right? If the person's going to run away, we talk about restraining them, right? Putting a, lock of some kind, or, something around the horse's neck to keep it from running away. So we also have that way restrained. Then we have the waters continually receded from the earth. After the end of 150 days, the waters receded. Now we have this word receded. It's actually twice, but receded, receded, receded. Move back from where it was. Like if I have a receding hairline, I don't yet, but maybe it's coming. If I have a receding hairline, I'm getting less and less hair. So that's the idea of receding, less and less moving back, right? So here it says it twice, receded. So the waters continually moved back from the earth. After the end of 150 days, the waters moved back from where it was. All right. Quick quiz. There was a mistake in this verse, right? Can anybody find the mistake? Just a little tiny mistake. Of course, I did it on purpose. But what's the mistake? Well, if you look over here, we have, oved back. Just should be moved back. Did anybody find it? You're great at English if you did. Should be moved back. So now we have verse 4. The ship rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, on Ararat's mountains. So again, purely from an English standpoint, it just says Ararat's mountains. Could be anywhere. And Ararat's mountain, it's a dormant. Dormant means inactive, not pushing up lava and fire. It's a dormant, inactive volcano in eastern Turkey. Verse 17, bring out with you every living thing that is with you of all flesh, including birds, livestock, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So now, first of all, we have this word over here. Now, when I move my cursor, it brings up this line where you can play. So hopefully that won't show. But if he does, this is live. So this is the idea of livestock. Remember livestock? It's usually farm animals. So just from a past lesson, this usually is farm animals. This is from the creation story. But now we're talking about creeping things that creep on the earth, right? And so this is bugs. And so we have this expression, I feel creepy. Ugh. So this bug crawling on your arm like a spider or an ant. Some people say they feel creepy. So a creeping thing is something that just crawls on the ground like that, right? I love ants. I think they're fascinating. Some people don't. Creeping. Then we have this word fruitful, 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 fruitful. This is just to have more offspring, more fruit, fruitful, more fruit, more children, more horses, right? More birds, anything you want to have more of it, fruitful. Then we have this word multiply, 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 and increase the amount or number of, right? So it's just increasing, multiply. Now we have all three of these together, creeping, fruitful, and multiply. Bring out with you every living thing that is with you of all flesh, including birds, farm animals, and every crawling thing that crawls on the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth and may have more children and increase in number on the earth. So now, in verse 20, it says, Noah built an altar to Yahweh and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. So what's an altar? An altar, 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 altar. This is just a flat rock or table to offer sacrifice or worship. So we have a table here. Maybe that could be used as an altar if you really needed something. So that could be an altar. So what do you do on the altar? You offer burnt offerings, burnt offerings, burnt offerings. This is burning animals, plants, or grains in service to God, right? So burnt offerings on this table or altar. So putting it together, you could say this. Noah built a flat rock to Yahweh and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered burning animals, plants, or grains on the altar. So there's the altar, right? They offered something burning on it. Okay. Yep, that's it. Let's see. Actually, let's just go back for a second. All right, there is another little quiz here that I just caught. So can we find it? Another little thing that's wrong. Take 5 seconds. Anybody find this one? All right, a lot of on purpose mistakes. So this is N. It says N. So Noah built N flat rock. It just should be Noah built a flock. Excuse me, a flat rock. Now you notice on the verse 20 below, it says built an altar. So if it starts with a vowel, an altar, an apple, something like that, you use N. But now I changed it to flat rock. So it should be a flat rock. No vowel. If you caught that one, that's a very small mistake. You really pat yourself on the back. All right. Yahweh smelled the pleasant aroma. Yahweh said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake, because the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. I will never again strike every living thing as I have done. So now we have this word pleasant, pleasant, pleasant. So if you remember back to the book of Ruth, right? There was Ruth and Naomi. And Naomi's name meant pleasant. And as I said before, what a great name. Hi, my name is pleasant or happy, right? My name is happy or cheerful. What a great name. So Naomi's name meant pleasant. Pleasant means happy and cheerful. So Yahweh smelled the happy and cheerful aroma. God seems to really like an altar with burning stuff on it. Very pleasant aroma. Verse 22, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest and cold and heat and summer and winter and day and night will not cease. So cease, 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 cease. Remember from the unit on jealousy, right? We had this word cease. And I do this specifically. You can start to see that the words we're using keep coming back, right? So again, the Bible is a great way to learn English. Cease, cease, cease. That means to stop doing it. Cease, cease what you're doing. Stop doing it. So now this becomes, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, will not stop, will not cease. Okay, so this seems to be where we stopped. All right, so we learned some great words from Noah's Ark. So hope you enjoyed this little talk. I hope you learned many new words. And it's really fun to go through the scriptures and learn English from it. Great source to learn English. So if you're excited about our textbook, the Bible, and I hope you're excited about learning English. I sure am about teaching it. And I hope that comes through. Have a wonderful day, wonderful learning adventure with English. See you next time. Bye.